Peace and love, you guys. Salute. Salute to the good people. What's up, y'all? I came across the interview of Tank Davis that was released yesterday. And a lot of thoughts, you guys. A lot of thoughts. And I guess the primary sentiment that I have right now regarding Tank Davis as a whole is that I am officially disgusted with and by Javonta Red Light Special Davis. Okay? I can honestly say that in my memory, as I go through my mental catalog, there isn't a single fighter who appalls me to the degree that I've been appalled by this young man. Everything that I love and admire and respect about boxing and the warriors within the sport, he has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that he is nothing like that. That he is not like us, if you will. It's quite unfortunate because he was one of the young kings who got me wrapped deeply into the sport several years back. Okay, he was one of the ones that got me into the sport again, got me reinterested in boxing, and particularly among the new generation of fighters of this era. He, Devin Haney, Earl Spence, and a number of some of my favorite fighters. Tank Davis was among the people that I celebrated. Yet I find myself losing more and more respect for this man by the day. In fact, I'd posit that I have none left at this particular juncture. I think I am out of it all, out of patience for this young man. Sitting back watching that interview, you guys, and listening to all of his wayward, illogical explaining away, okay, of his evasion, of his steepest competition. I see why I have been completely turned off by this man for the past year. Real talk. My disgust is absolutely predicated upon this interview, but it is most certainly a composite of feelings that have been generating over the past year for him and his antics and his movements and his ill decisions. And even now, as he substantiated over the past few months, his lack of passion and lack of love, and hence to me, lack of respect for the sport in the way he's going about trying to bamboozle the boxing public by blatantly capping. I mean, the cappery is on 10, okay? This man did an interview on Mr. J Hill Network, which was posted on YouTube yesterday, as aforementioned. And in the interview, first of all, talk about another disgraceful conversation. I mean, just back-to-back disgraceful waste of time. Ain't it? I had a conversation with my gunners. Some of you, my supporters, my people, may recall the discussion that I had in a live just a few days ago on Sunday, okay, over the weekend. And in this live, we dissected and we analyzed his previous folly of an interview. And that's the one that he had with Yachty. And basically the debauchery of the mentality he presented then in this particular interview. I didn't think it could get worse, quite honestly, people. Okay? But I guess he has a fight coming up in a couple of weeks after all. So he figured, you know what? Let me up the ante here, right? So in this interview, there's a few points that I'm going to get into. But early in the interview, okay, barely 10 minutes in, Shakur Stevenson was mentioned, okay, and he was mentioned at a particular point where the host used Shakur Stevenson as an example of how people can come off like they're cool with you and the next minute turn around and start acting different, right? They turn around and they done changed all of a sudden. The host asks this, quote, Of course, it's boxing and a contact sport, and y'all have to sell a fight, but does it ever get like conflicting in a way where it's like, bro, because I see you talk about this with Shakur. Niggas be acting like they're your friends, but then they want to call you out. Does it ever get confusing? That's the question from the host to Tank Davis, right? Tank responded, yeah, that made me pull away from it. Then that shows you like what type of person they are. It's not like they want the spotlight. It's more of a hate type vibe. They want what you have. They want all the attention on them. If they were to get it, they wouldn't even know what to do with it. It's like, I didn't ask for this. It's what came with it. People understand me because I'm myself at all times. I'm not going to fake the funk. Like, if I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. End quote. So, I don't know if you guys recall this, but let's not be forgetful of the fact that the man who said himself that supposedly ain't no friends in this boxing shit, right? Quote unquote, is the same man who is now emotional over Shakur Stevenson calling him out to fight him. I thought wasn't no friendship involved in this boxing shit, sir. What are you emotional about? Why are you feeling so crabby? And just because y'all were cool and had an acquaintance, does that mean that y'all can't make the biggest fight at 135 happen? What the hell? This nigga is soft as tissue, yo. The logic doesn't even make sense. So the fuck what Shakur Stevenson called you out? Are y'all not supposed to be getting it cracking in the same division? Y'all supposed to just stand there and look at each other and high five and pass each other by like 2 goddamn ships in the night? Or are y'all supposed to get it thugging and popping in the division as champions? What is this man talking about? Softer than Valentine's Day roses, y'all. What kind of nonsense is this? If y'all were cool, as you say y'all were cool, why wouldn't you want to get the bag together as 2 kings in a division? I'm sick of this whole girlfriend shit. This whole old girlfriend talk is crazy to me. The mindset is too damn sassy. Hey, girlfriend, I thought we was girlfriends. Now we can't be getting it in. We girlfriends. Get that soft ass shit the fuck out of boxing. I'm tired of this crazy ass parading faulty, fake sucker shit. It's crazy to me, y'all. I was absolutely appalled hearing this nonsense and the sly justification of this type of demure, sensitive ass mentality. What kind of frail talk is that when you a champion and the person next to you is a champion and y'all not getting it cracking? What the hell y'all supposed to be doing? Combing each other's goddamn hair? Yes, he called you out, as he should. Are y'all not motherfucking competitors? What is this? He's supposed to put the world aside and put all of his goals down just to step softly around your frail, fragile ass feelings? No, he got goals too. He want to prove he's the best. You over here saying that you the best, waving a fucking carrot in front of people's face, telling them you the best thing since sliced goddamn bread. And he's looking at you like, all right, there's food over there. Let me go get that because I want to prove I'm the best. And if you in a way, that means I got to go through you. And I'm willing to do that. That's why I'm calling your name. What's popping? And you over here shaking in your goddamn boots, using the excuse as, oh, we was cool, but now you done turned on me. You done turned. You know, you're not talking to me nice no more. You talking too harsh to me. I liked it better when you spoke softly. This is too aggressive, Shakur. I don't know if I like this. The fuck? Soft as tissue. Get this dude out of here. Another reprehensible moment in the interview, and trust me, it was full of it, okay? Full to the brim, is when Tank was then asked, how is it that somebody can go about making a fight with him? But the host specified like when they're cool with him, right? But just the idea and the notion that he was asking about how a fight can be made with him, period, is something that I thought quite interesting because it's never been stated by Tank Davis what an opponent has to do to land a fight with him, okay? And it's definitely a matter, and most certainly a matter that's been heavily speculated upon by cognizant boxing supporters who want to know, right? Since he's been so damn choosy and particular about the kind of opponent that he steps into the ring with, all right? Now, Tank responded to this question by saying, quote, I mean, it's a way of how you go about it. Like it was times where people would call me out and be like, yeah, he wouldn't fight me, knowing damn well I would fight them. So it was more so like how they approach the situation. You know, it's cool if someone wants to make money and stuff like that, because I know the outcome and they for sure know the outcome. I'm just talking about boxers, period, you know? They be trying to make themselves look big by saying I wouldn't fight them, knowing damn well that if you put them in front of me right now, we'll fight. End quote. You guys, the malarkey is just, the damn malarkey is just beyond comprehensible. What kind of nonsense is this man on, you guys? First of all, he did not answer the question of how an opponent goes about getting a fight with him after calling him out. He didn't answer the question. There's a certain way you go about it. What type of vague fucking response is that? Secondly, he admitted that there are fighters who have called him out, but he didn't give a reason as to why he didn't fight the people that have been calling him out. So you've been getting called out, but you ain't fight none of them? Really? He blames the people that are calling for his head, and he deems those people calling for his head, whoever they may be or may have been over the years, he deems them as being solely interested in the money. Basically on some Canelo shit, pay they. Ain't that convenient to say, oh, well, you just want money. You guys are chasing me around like he's this fucking hot chick on a goddamn block in the summertime that all the dudes are whistling at. He's on some bitch shit like that. Oh, y'all want me. Everybody eyes on me now. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. What the fuck is this dude talking about? It's cool if you want to make money and stuff like that. Excuse me? What the hell are you doing in the sport? Bruh, aren't you grabbing the bag? At least they're willing to fight somebody who calls themselves the best and who largely the boxing world considers to be among the best in all of the sport. Yes, they want their bag and they want to solidify their names in the sport as they should, unlike you, chump. This dude is a whole coward, y'all. An entire coward. If you're being called out, why aren't you fighting the men calling you out? Simple question. He's blatantly and inadvertently saying that he is ducking these people that are calling him out. Quite frankly, whomever they may be, he is ducking them. That is what he is telling you. Oh, they call me out, but, oh, they say my name, but every goddamn excuse in the book except let me send them an offer so we can settle this like men in a ring. Let me show these dudes that there are levels to this, and there's a reason why they call me the Tank. Do some shit like that. He ain't doing shit but running scared. How is it that he can get up there and say that people say, yeah, he wouldn't fight me, knowing damn well that I would? How could you say that and not fight them? What do you mean, know damn well that you would? If you would, send an offer. Don't tell me what you would do. Tell me what you will. Oh, y'all know I would fight you. And ain't doing a damn thing to make it happen. Ain't that crazy? The chump levels are off the chart, y'all. Off the chart. So there was another point where the host asked Tank, well, where does the confusion come from then? Like, a lot of them are saying they want to fight, but when it comes down to it, they ain't really doing what they got to do to fight. But casual fans, I guess the conception is Tank ain't fighting nobody. Where does the confusion come from? That is what he is asking Tank Davis. Now, this is the host taking the onus out of Tank's hands and instantly assuming that these fights do not happen because somehow it's the fighters that quote unquote ain't doing what they got to do to get the fight. Do you hear the logic that is going on here? And it's definitely a logic that is circling around the boxing world among many people. This particular logic that, oh, it isn't Tank, it's the other guys. They're doing something wrong. That's why the fight isn't happening. Even though Tank did not ever say what needed to be done on the part of the person that's calling him out. Right? What the fuck does the B side need to do? Are there qualifications that they need to fulfill? Is there a pre-screening? Pre-approvals to get a goddamn fight with Red Light Special Davis? What are the qualifications? What are the prerequisites? I need to know. And the world is asking. I thought Tank Davis was the A side, and henceforth, the only one who dictates when and how a fight will take place. Is this not the case? Is he not Mr. A side, Mr. Face of Boxing? Moreover, the host also insults the boxing supporter with his statement. Yeah, he insults the boxing supporter who is questioning Tank's lack of formidable competition by calling them what? Casuals. So anybody questioning his idleness among steep competition, they are now being called casuals. They are casuals because we see this nigga evading his rivals. That's why we're casuals now. Because we see him pulling up 130 pounders instead of the champions and let's say the top 5 ranked fighters in his own goddamn division. I mean, the absurdity is baffling, you guys. Absolutely baffling. So Tank goes on to respond to that by saying, quote, people like other fighters will say it, but they know they got like 3 or 4 other fights lined up already. Like they're already in a deal type situation. They know they can't. I mean, they can, but that shit already set in stone. They always call me out when they have a fight. They don't never call me out when they don't have a fight. Never. Like when they're just sitting around, they don't never call me out. They always call me out when they got a fight lined up. Now go look back at that. Like you'll see, yeah, they was faking. Ciao. So now the fighters that call him out are capping. You know what I'm saying? They're just saying his name because they already have engagements and arrangements to fight other people. That is why they call you out, because they have already solidified and booked themselves. They're booked and busy, basically. So now is the time to call out Tank Davis because I'm booked and busy. What a cop-out, you guys. Every fighter has been booked and busy when they called you out. Let's use Devin Haney, for example, because I remember there was a particular time Devin Haney publicly called your ass out and told you that he was free. He had nothing lined up. Okay? And what did you say to that? But absolutely nothing. Devin Haney was in his weight division, let's say over the past 5-6 years. You sent no offer to this man whatsoever. He been calling you out for goodness knows how long. And no fight was materialized thanks to you. You could have sent that man an offer at any time and refused to do so. Devin Haney done went and grabbed up every strap in his division on your watch, on your time, and you did nothing about it. That man came in there and put his feet all over your couch and said, fuck your couch, and you ain't do shit. He got undisputed on your watch. How the hell did that happen? If you're, quote unquote, the person who would fight these people at the drop of a dime, how did he manage to do that? How many offers did you send to Devin? If these people are so whack and so lame as you presume them to be, send them an offer. Call their bluff. If they don't take the offer, then they ducked you, period. End of story. You the big gun, you the big shark, and they just ducked you because they scared of you. That's how you prove it. That's how you smash and squash the doubt and the bickering and the rhetoric. You're not sending no goddamn offers, but you calling other dudes soft. You calling other dudes whack and lame and scared and not about that and fake call outs. And oh, they're just calling me because they want a little bit of shine here and there. And you not sending them shit. You're not shutting these people up. If these people are allegedly calling your name the way you are saying, are they not prey? Are they not food to go hunt? Call their bluff. That's what a real one would do. All right, you talking all that stuff? Here, let me know when you on. Sign your name next to this, and we'll set it up, and I'll shut you up. The fuck is the problem? What's so hard about that? You are the only person in the driver's seat, Mr. A-side. As the A-side, you control the ship. Calling you out is the furthest action that these people can take to get your attention. That's the furthest they can go as far as their status and stature. You dictate the direction and the momentum and the movement and progression of the fight. It is you who deems the fight worth materializing. It is you who sets that into motion. They can do nothing else but call you the fuck out. This man is wildin', blatantly capping his ass off. It was absolutely disgusting, you guys. Now, the host proceeds to ask Tank Davis, and this is probably the most horrific portion of the interview. He goes on to ask, quote, I know you've talked about these 5 to 7 fights that you want before you go out. Do you still have a list of people that you want to get out of the way before you get out of there? End quote. Right? That's the question. In this moment, Tank Davis takes a long, awkward pause. Then he shakes his head and says the following. No, not really. I mean, if the opportunity presents itself, then yeah, for sure, I'll take it. But not really. Not really. Like, I'm mainly trying to get out of the sport, for sure. End quote. Oh, my goodness, y'all. Would you look at that? Will you look at that? Tank Davis has no hit list anymore, y'all. He done backspaced it. He done deleted it. He done scrapped it. He done trashed it. Child. He done unalived his hit list. The coveted hit list is gone, y'all. It's gone. Red Light Special Davis said, to hell with this hit list. Y'all out here asking for too much. I got to get rid of this. My dog ate my homework, y'all. I don't know what happened to it. That shit gone. It went missing. What? What type of craziness is this? No hit list? No people you gunning for? Oh, I want his head on the wall. Didn't he just say he wants some people's heads on the wall? Now the shit's been deleted? Nowhere to be found? Child. This is all the confirmation that you need, okay? For all the delusional Bettys who have been so sassy on social media, okay? Trying to convince the world that Tank will save the day and somehow find his vim and his gusto and his vigor, right? Telling people, oh, well, we got to read Tank's body language. Okay? Oh, you just got to read in between the lines because that's not what he really means. He don't really and actually mean what he's saying, right? And Tank tries to save face with this statement by saying, quote, well, if an opportunity presents itself, I take it. But, did you hear that part? If an opportunity presents itself, I take it. But, nigga, ain't no goddamn but. Is you motherfucking fighting or no? Like, you feel me? Like, what? And also, what the hell opportunity can present itself to the A side other than the one that you dictate and create, Mr. Red Light Special Davis? Okay? Now, the host in this moment seems to go through some type of withdrawal for a few seconds, right? At this point, because he then tries to remind Tank that he did once have a hit list after all, right? And he motions for Tank to explicate the reason for this sudden change. And Tank proceeds by saying, quote, I'm saying like me, I was never big on like saying I'll fight him or calling out someone. But if our promoters have a conversation and like they bring it to me, for sure, I'm not turning it down. So I would fight whoever is in my weight class. Like, even if they're a little higher, I'll fight them at like a catch weight for sure. But I was never the person that was like, go to my promoter, yo, I want to fight this person. Because I always be like, these guys just came on the scene. These niggas is young. So they was never in the picture for me to be like, oh, I want to fight them. Even now they not. They ain't prove they self. End quote. Oh my goodness, y'all. More folly, more fuckery, more cappery, more evasion, more delusion. Oh my goodness, you guys. So Tank doesn't call people out, right? As we've heard him say over the years several times, okay? He fights who his promoters put in front of him, right? This is because he does not want to fight the best among him. And I will tell you how this is so. Tank Davis knows that if he calls people out, if he mentions a name of someone, it will expose the fact that they are not of his stature and caliber, the person that he wants to call out. The one that he wants to call out, he will immediately be exposed for the calling out of somebody not of his caliber. So he saves himself from that type of disgrace and embarrassment by leaving the matchups up to the promoter, supposedly, in quote unquote, right? Because if he calls the name of somebody like Lamont Roach directly and publicly, right? If he literally went on a platform publicly and called out Lamont Roach, if he called out the name of Rolly Romero, for example, I want to fight, Rolly Romero. If he went on a public platform and called this man out or called out somebody like Hector Garcia, let's say in the middle of the ring after a fight, who do you want next, Tank Davis? I want Hector Garcia. Tank knows good and goddamn well that a huge percentage of the boxing world will question him and castigate him. Okay? The boxing world will ask blatant questions, unapologetic, unabashed questions like, what the fuck are you calling their names for? Right? He will be held immediately to the stake if he mentioned those names himself. And that same percentage of people who will give him that type of backlash are the same ones who are today asking him, why aren't you calling out Shakur Stevenson? They are asking him things like, why haven't you fought Devin Haney? He doesn't want that type of castigation. He doesn't want to hold the responsibility. So he will say instead, well, I just fight who they put in front of me. Even though he's now GTD. Wasn't that his excuse with TMT, Mayweather Promotions? Wasn't it that the perspective precisely? Oh, well, I just fight who they put in front of me. Now he's GTD. Now he's quote unquote his own boss. Who the fuck who are they anyway, if you the boss? If you the boss, don't you pick your own stock? Don't you go hunt your own food as the boss? Don't you set the terms? What are we talking about here? You fight who they put in front of you. How you still got that mentality and you're supposedly in the driver's seat? You mean to tell me all that GTD talking, you got GTD logo on the banners of your fights and stuff like that, you still sitting in a goddamn high chair? Excuse me? You mean GTD Promotions is just a front and you still low-key being sent to the store like a child? Hey, you really just can't make this stuff up. I mean, you guys, there was so much to divulge regarding this interview. It's impossible for me to cover it all because we would literally be here all day, all night. But there was a particular point, I guess, lastly, I'll touch on this point where he, of course, goes to disavow Devin Haney. And he wants to call Devin Haney all types of chumps. Oh, and Ryan beat you. And, you're suing. Oh, that's so puss of you to sue. Oh, this dude is a puss. All this other type of nonsense that he is saying. But of course, all of this is riding the wave of Devin Haney. How convenient, right? His fight that nobody has been talking about, nobody has been batting an eye about ever since its announcement months ago, ever since its threatened cancellation months ago. And then it's automatic, resuming, right? Now the fight is a couple of weeks away. And here he goes in an interview mentioning who? Devin the Dream Haney. How goddamn convenient. Because it seems to me that there is no other way to garner a sense of interest in what you have coming up. So you feel like you got to strike up some controversy. And who better to do that with than the name of Devin Haney, the motherfucker who's actually a respectable, upright sportsman, a competitor, and a real warrior, a real person about that legacy and solidifying legacy. And the person whose shadow you could never walk in. You have never once unified a belt, a single belt in the entirety of your career, and you are 30 years old. Devin Haney is something like 26 years old. He is the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. Since Pernell Whitaker, greatness is all over that man. And so, yeah, you got to go fetch for some fervor. You got to go fetch for some heat off of him because your fire done burnt out. That's why you threatening retirement. That's why you evaded him for something like 5, 6, 7 years. And the only thing you can do is talk about him. That's the only thing you can do is sit and cluck your gums because you can't stand toe to toe with that king. Tank Davis could easily win the boxing world over, win critics over, win lovers over again of him and his journey. If he simply just got in the ring with the best, if he simply just took on the challenges presented by fighting his contemporaries. But no, he'd rather sit there and give you a whole bunch of smoke and tell you how great he is, tell you how high up there he is with quote unquote Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather. He wants to sit there and tell you that, but he ain't ever gonna prove it to you. But he wants you to keep spending your dollars to support his goddamn retirement fund. Get out of my face. This clown is sitting up there trying to justify a weak, empty-ass resume by saying, oh, Jose Pedraza and Ryan Garcia are the people that I fought, so that solidifies me as the best of the best. These other dudes ain't fight nobody. Look at me, I fought Ryan Garcia and Jose Pedraza 10 goddamn years ago. Shit, that means I could do all of my talking on Twitter and in these interviews telling y'all how great I am instead of proving it to you in a ring. I mean, you guys, absolutely imbecilic. Imbecilic. Get this man on the first Uber the fuck out of boxing. ASAP. He needs to get going ASAP. I don't give a damn about what this man has coming up after March 1st. I don't give a damn what he has coming up on March 1st. But certainly, he should not be re-entering the ring after the 1st of March. Absolutely ridiculous. This man's entire discussion was disrespectful to me as a boxing supporter. I could not believe my ears. I could not believe what I was witnessing, listening yet again to an interview. This is the second interview in a matter of days from each other? The Yachty one and now this one? Absolutely revolting on every level. Abhorrent on every level, you guys. If our greats spoke like this back in the day, all of the greats that we know and love that we can name and run the gamut on, if they spoke like this back in their day, boxing would be dead. We would have no boxing. This motherfucker is single-handedly ruining the sport. Ruining the sport. I wish a speedy exit out of the game from this kid. Get out. Get out now. Don't wait. Call up the retirement fund. Call up the limo driver and have his ass haul you off to goddamn South Beach some goddamn where you can retire quietly and out of my fucking face. I am astounded by the disrespect posed in this interview and by his actions. This is not the mentality that will carry the sport of boxing that we love so dearly onward and into the future in a healthy, upright capacity and ability to progress. In no other sport is this type of blasphemous parlance carried out or spoken of to any degree near what this young man has been positing. In any other sport, an athlete talking like this is gone. It's cut out by the team, by his superiors, or whatever have you, or has already made the decision to bounce. He does not continue within the sport with this type of nonsense in his mouth. He's cut loose immediately. And that is exactly what I'm doing. And any intelligible person listening to what was clearly stated would do the same. This man does not respect the sport of boxing. This man does not respect the supporters of boxing. This man does not respect warriorship. Therefore, he's lost my respect for him. That's it for me, y'all. I'm on to the next. Peace.